edition of Monday March Madness Mashup. I did a video last week and then I had a video previously on my Instagram, and I thought since I'm not getting around to the exercises every single day, I thought another mashup video might be fun. These last few exercises are usually found near the latter end of a class. So what I'm going to do is go through a bit of a warm-up, trying to take the components from the major exercises and do them in a more broken down form at the start. So follow along. If you get to the major exercises and you're not quite sure about doing them yourself, that's fine. You can have a look at them. I'll try to offer some modifications if you want to try those. A little bit noisy here. My apologies. All right, let's get going. So we're going to start just on hands and knees as I normally do, with just a little cat-cow. So shoulders over your hands, hips over your knees, and just let the belly drop out to the floor, and just gently zip the low belly muscles away from you. So you can see my belly muscles dropping down. It kind of covers the edge of the Cadillac there. And then I'm gently zipping from pubic bone to belly button and drawing those low abdominals in. So in order to create power in any muscle system, we have to be able to release it to a certain extent so it has a range of motion to create power off of it. So I like to take the time at the beginning of any class to make sure that I am activated properly. Okay? So from here, I'm just going to round up through the spine and lengthen the tail out, widening the base of the pelvis as you look forward. And then curling up. Lengthen the tail, lengthen the nose away from each other. Exhale, rounding up. And then reaching away. Let's do one more like that. Rounding up. And then reaching your nose and your pubic bone away from each other. And then up and out, wide, wide sit bones. Come back into neutral. So we're going to bring our legs together. If that's comfortable for you, you're going to tuck the toes. We're going to do our leg pull front prep. So you're just going to take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to deepen those abdominals again. Push the floor away. So I'm not changing the shape of my spine. I'm just hovering a little bit further away from it. Exhale again. Push the floor away. Hovering the knees off. And then come back down. So use the exhale to find that support, but you should be able to maintain it as you breathe in and then release back away. One last time. We're going to stay up this time, and then you're going to pick the right foot up and bring it back down, and left foot up and come back down. Make sure the weight of the head stays in line with the spine. Don't let the head fall away from the floor. We're going to do one more each side. Just floating away from the floor like it's no big deal. Bring the knees down and then just push off the hands there for a second. Good. We're going to flip around. We'll do a little bit of ab curls and oblique curls. So you're going to lie down on your back. Your feet are sit bone distance apart, and a comfortable distance away. You are lying down. Oh, my ponytail always gets in the way here. If you need a head pad, you can put some folded up towels underneath your head. Otherwise, you should be pretty comfortable. Pelvis is in neutral. Have a gentle space under the low back. Hands are behind the head, elbows slightly away from the floor. So you're going to take your eyes across the ceiling. Find those low abdominals to support as you curl the upper body up towards the legs, looking through, and then roll back down. Your gaze returns back up to the ceiling. Nod your head forward, curling up, and then roll back down. So as I curl up, I'm deepening and widening across those hip bones. So I shouldn't see the belly muscles push up to the ceiling. I want to feel that they sink down towards the floor as I stay
in neutral. We're gonna do 3 more like that. And I'm trying to curve my upper spine and allow those shoulder blades to come off the mat. You're gonna take your right arm up to the ceiling. You're gonna start to curl up, but this time you're gonna rotate and reach to the outside of that left knee. You're gonna come back, you're gonna hover in the center to take the left arm up and do the same thing to the right side. My legs, the back of my legs are easy. My pelvis stays nice and centered. I'm focusing on that upper body doing the work. It's smooth, it's controlled for right now. Well, it's actually always controlled, but I'm taking my time here in the warm-up to get a sense of how my body is moving, where I'll need to focus as the work gets harder, right? So we can always add speed, but if we add speed and we're not where we need to be, we can hide a lot of what we're trying to actually work on. Good, and that's the last one, and you're gonna come back down. So you can bring your hands back down to the mat, just my ponytail again. This time, you're gonna go into your imprint. So this is important for our loaded work. So you're gonna think about curling your pubic bone towards your nose a little bit without using the back of the legs. You're not tucking your bum and trying to push your pelvis up towards your nose. You're trying to use those lower abdominal muscles and zip and curl a little bit. So my low back is reaching towards the mat, but I'm not pressing it down. I'm just curling. And so my low back is moving closer to the floor. Everyone's imprint is a little bit differently, and it will go through ranges as we go into different exercises. So finding that imprint, bring one leg and the second leg up into tabletop, and then bring your arms to tabletop. So we're just gonna alternate legs for a second. So same thing, low abdominals should be deepening and widening across the hip bones. You can start to add a little bit of opposite arm to leg going down if you want. And then you're gonna bring both arms up. You're gonna glue the legs together. We're just going to reach arms and legs away from the center and come back in. So I'm thinking of a bigger zipper from pubic bone to rib cage. My deep core system is activating a little bit more to support the bigger work. Last one. Good. And then bring the feet down, bring the arms down, and relax. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna flip over onto our stomachs. We're gonna do a little bit of Swan Dive. We're gonna go all the way into Swan Dive, not into like the full rocking or anything, but just a Swan Dive to find that expression of extension. You'll need it for a later exercise. Oh, hold on a sec. Okay. So hands down on the mat. Feet are about sit bone distance, a little wider than sit bone distance apart. Elbows are pointing towards your feet. You're relaxing into the floor. The eyes come forward and up off the mat. You're finding those upper spinal muscles to start. So I don't really have much pressure in my hands yet. As I want to come up further, I find my glutes, I find my hands, and I can assist myself up a little bit higher. And then I'm going to melt my spine back into the mat. And then again, eyes forward and up. Find the glutes, find the hands, and using a little bit more work to find your extension. So I've got a really bendy dancer's back, so I can come up pretty high, but don't feel obligated to go any higher than what's comfortable. So you shouldn't feel super pinchy in your low back. So you might find that, okay, you go here, and that's a great expression of Swan Dive for you. Or you might have even more range than I do. Any dancers out there, any gymnasts, and so just go to where you feel that you can stay supported in your movement, and then coming back down. Awesome. All right, pushing back into shell stretch. Good, okay. So from here, we're gonna switch on to, we're gonna go from here, we're gonna switch on to our side. You're gonna have both legs long. Top arm can reach, I really like it, reached out. Bottom arm is down. Ribs and hips are nice and stacked, so you might need to look down the length of your body to see if your ribs are sitting forward or back. Nice, easy alignment. Might be a little bit wobbly, so you can use this hand here. You're gonna lift the leg up, bring the second leg to meet it, lower down. Top leg up, and lower down. So we're just building some awareness through the outer hip, and then that bottom adductor, while finding some stability inside line. Good, we're just gonna do 2 more. And last one, okay? Pushing up, swinging to the other side. I'm just doing 5 of those on the other side. Arms, long legs. Let's get my fingertips in the video here. Lift the top leg up, bottom leg squeezes, and then come back down. So we're again thinking of those abdominals. Lots of noises out on the street today. Top leg up, bottom leg up, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, and down. Last one here. I'm trying to stay easy in my shoulders and my neck, not always the easiest. And then relax. All right. So we're gonna go into the March Madness exercises. So you should feel warm, you should feel like you've moved in all directions to handle these. So the first one is gonna be leg pull front and leg pull back. So leg pull front, here, so it's similar to the hover we did where we picked one foot up, but this time we are in plank. So you're gonna find your plank position. The action is to rock back and forth, so you're using your ankles to move you, but you're gonna pick up one leg. You're gonna rock, point that foot 1, 2, 3. Place it down. Lift the other leg up. So you're skimming forward and back in a straight line. Your hips should not be bobbling up and down, hiking towards the ceiling. You're maintaining that plank. 2, good. And 3, and then come back down. Bring these down, and just relax. Awesome. Swinging the feet around. So leg pull back. I think we just call it leg pull in our manual actually. So the legs are extended in front of you. Obviously my feet are pointed as always. Don't feel obligated to point them. You're going to have your hands back. I like my fingertips, I think. Yeah. They're kind of pointing diagonally backwards. Don't feel like they have to be straight back. Wherever is comfortable on your wrists and your shoulders. My legs are slightly rotated. I'm gonna roll up. So I'm gonna start to deepen those abdominals. I'm gonna press into the floor with my legs and take my body up. I'm slightly flexed those upper abdominals to stay supported. Lots of work happening to the back of the legs. Leg comes up, flex. 1, 2, and 3, and bring it back down to the mat. Other leg. 1, 2, and 3, and bring it down. If it's too much on that supporting leg, to lift and lower the single leg, just support this position on 2 legs instead. Hold and breathe, and then come back down. Awesome. Let's do it one more time. Rolling up. All right, find that support. Push the floor away. Lifting up. 1, 2, 3. Bring it down. And 1, 2,
kneeling sidekick. So we did our side line. This is a little bit more aggressive. One of my favorites, not everyone's favorite. You're gonna have your hands on your forehead. So I'm kneeling on my mat, so make sure that you have something under your knees if you're a little bit sensitive there. You're going to take your hand up, it's out of the screen, but you're gonna see it again. As I lean towards the mat, put weight on it, and reach that leg long. I'm gonna take that leg up, I'm looking down, are my hips and ribs more or less in line. I'm gonna flex the foot, kick it forward to 1. Exhale, sweep, and kick, kick, and sweep, and kick. Ooh, great, I've got the Cadillac to keep me honest about the height of my leg as I'm going forward and back, and kick. My supporting leg is also working hard. Kick, kick, and back. Bring it back to the side. You're going to come up with control, and then guess what? We have a second side. I like to be thankful that we're not octopi and have 8 sides to deal with. We only have 2. So we're 50% done. And sweep back. And kick, kick, and back. And 3. Breathing. And 5. Good. And 6. And 7. Keep pushing the floor away. 8. And back. Good. Bring that leg side. Bring it down. Coming all the way back up. And arms come down. Whew, I'm going to feel that tomorrow. All right. If you've watched my top 10, I threw Boomerang in there because it's one of my favorites. Because it's just fun. It's fun. It's fun to learn. It's fun to teach. Everyone has a good time doing it. So we're going to do it again here. So you're going to start with your hands by your side. You can start sitting up so you have a good reference point, and then you're going to flex over those legs. So I'm not collapsing down. I'm really trying to work that curl. Sorry, my one leg is going to be crossed over the top. So from there, make sure I have enough room in your mat to roll backwards. I'm going to try and maintain the shape as I push up into my rollover. I'm going to switch my legs. I'm going to maintain that shape so my head's going to come off the floor. I'm going to reach. My arms sweep back. And I'm going to try and keep that shape as I come back down. And you're going to do that again. Woo-wee. Switch the legs. Try and keep that flex shape as you come off the floor. Sometimes I like to come up to teaser and then go back into flexion and try to maintain it to come down. You don't have to do that. Maybe that's the dancer in me. Always having to do something decorative with my arms. But don't feel that you have to from here just sweeping the arms back. I think the classical version, they actually grab their hands and reach back. But I find my shoulders don't love that. So simply, good, as you come up, whoop, reaching back as far as you feel comfortable while keeping the collarbones open is good enough. Okay, that's hard to talk as I'm doing it. All right, next one is seal. So this is another rocking exercise. I can't not laugh during this. So you're gonna sit up. I think we actually barked like seals when I learned this in my teacher training. So you're sitting up. You're gonna wrap your arms around your legs. Your toes are touching. And you're just going to deepen those abdominals, roll the hip bones away. You're gonna tap your toes 3 times. Curl up, tap, tap, tap. Exhale back, whoop, tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. And the idea with the tap, tap, tap is, are you actually balancing where you're finishing up? Can you control that position? Tap, tap, tap. And then relax. Or you just simply using momentum to rock forward and back. So the idea is that we can control that shape as we move, and the tap, tap, taps are there to prove the point. Okay. Hawking. I don't love this one. I can do it better now than I used to be able to. Oh, sorry, screen's turning off. I do it better than I used to do it, but it's still something that takes me a lot of time to get into and feel confident that I'm not just sort of pushing into an unorganized, unsupported range of motion. You're gonna come onto your stomach. So for your bodies to feel if this is not accessible, then it's not accessible. Not all Pilates exercises are beneficial or necessary for all of our bodies. Okay, so body is down. I like my legs apart. If you feel comfortable having them more in line with your sit bones, you can go ahead and do that. But for me, I need a little bit of lateral rotation for it to feel good on my knees. You're gonna find that deep core support. You're gonna bend the knees and grab onto the feet. So you might find that this is already challenging enough to do. So maybe you just stay there and stretch that up. So I'm gonna think about my collarbones being wide. Adjust my knees there. I'm going to push my feet into my hands. I'm gonna look forward and up like my swan. I'm using my glutes. I'm using my abdominal support. And then I'm just going to use my breath to rock a little bit. And then I'm gonna say, no, I've had enough, and I'm gonna gently come out of it. So normally for me, all I do, and all I feel comfortable is doing, is just getting myself safely into this extension. So for me is not feeling the pain in my knees and really supporting through my hips. And then I come out of it. Okay? And then I'm just gonna release entirely. Yeah. So that one's been a work in progress for a long time, and it's still not one that I absolutely love, but hey, you might find this is one of your favorites, and that's awesome. But you can just sort of see the challenges with how to get there safely and comfortably. All right. Control balance. As if everything's not controlled and balanced in Pilates already. But this one, so we're gonna go into our rollover from earlier. Okay, and then I'm gonna reach my arms back, and I'm balancing not on my neck, but between my shoulder blades. And then I'm going to scissor my legs. I'm crooked here. Yep, I'm crooked. And I'm just gonna come back down for a sec, because I am not centered on my mat for some reason. So I'm gonna try that again. Okay, that feels a little bit better. Make sure I'm not corkscrewing. So this is work on trying not to twist through your waist too much, that you can scissor the legs without lowering the pelvis. Woo. And then I'm just going to roll back down. And then come back in. Yeah, still a work in progress for me as well, and you can see I had a hard time keeping things organized. All right, the last one is we're gonna come to standing, and we're gonna do a roll down into push-up. So this is an easy one to modify if you don't feel comfortable with the pure push-up position. I'm just going to, actually, what's better here? A little bit back so you can see. Okay, that works. Kind of camera angles, it's fun. So you're gonna start standing up nice and tall. You nod your head forward, you roll down. You can soften your knees here.
You're gonna walk yourself out to your plank. So if you don't like doing push-ups in full plank, feel free to bring your knees down. That's totally fine. From here, we're gonna bend our elbows and go down. 3, 2, 1. Push the floor away. And bend. 2, 3. Push the floor away. And 1, 2, 3. Push the floor away. Send the hips back. Walk your hands back in. And rolling back up. So we're gonna do that one more time. Nod your head forward. Rolling down the spine. Walking your hands out. So again, full plank or half plank. And then 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Push the floor away. 1, 2, 3. Push the floor away. Send the hips back. Walking yourself back in. Rolling up. Tail through head. All the way up to find your standing. Awesome. Okay. That brings us to the end of that short but powerful workout. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.